Yeah, that was pretty good. How you doing, Troy?
Josh, you good?
Very good.
All right, we'll open it up for questions. Go ahead, Josh.
Troy, when you guys got the fifth pick, I'd imagine there's a guy or two in your mind that if he's there, that's like the guy you'd be interested in getting. How often does that process change as you guys do the pre-draft workouts in terms of like, this is the guy that I'd like to have?
I mean, you have an idea of the, the top half of the lottery, and then you, run the process. So we're finishing up the touches of the process, but it doesn't really change because I didn't really have a set person or anything like that going into it. So no, just wanted to run the process. I know you guys get tired of hearing that, but that's the reality of it.
Well, 72 hours to go, like how much work really needs to be done yet? Do you pull everybody together still and set the final board? Is that something, are you there yet, or is that still to take place?
No, we're still working through that. I mean, there's still a lot left to be done. Meetings and setting the board and going over different parts of the process that, we formulate to come up with the best scenarios. I mean, at 5, you're at the mercy of the board. So it's not like 1 when you get to make the first choice, but at 5, you're at the mercy of the board. So we have to have all those scenarios ready to go.
Sure, and you kind of touched on it saying that we're at the mercy of the board, but do you anticipate the top 4 maybe can be a little more unpredictable and maybe some beliefs are just that you have a team at 4 that a lot of reporting says they can make a move or whatnot. Do you think that this could be kind of unpredictable on the day of the draft because of that?
Absolutely, you got to be prepared for that. I mean, I remember, I don't know how many years ago it was. I mean, you can never predict the board. I mean, D'Angelo Russell jumped up and went 2. Nobody saw that coming. So that's why I'm a little agitated on, so much reporting, trying to find out everybody's pick, right? It's ridiculous to me. But no, I mean, you got to be prepared for anything to happen. Because if you don't, and you haven't done your work, then somebody's dropped that you haven't done your work on, then you stuck. So, no, we anticipate anything happening above us. So.
Everybody tries to envision what the draft pick looks like, how he'll fit on the team, how he'll fit with Cade Cunningham. And I think you normally go for the best player that's there, but how much do you have to factor in fit with a guy like Cade Cunningham?
Well, for me, the fit is easy because of we're trying to draft the right person. So the person's going to fit. Now, in the basketball, Coach Casey and staff can figure out, but we're going to get the right fit as a person. So I'm not hung up on position or anything like that. So, Cade fit with Isaiah and Sadiq and Killian and Saban and, Isaiah Livers and Luka and Cade fit with those. So we're going to get the right person. I wouldn't get hung up on what fits with this person or what skill set. No, we're going to bring the right person in the building.
What's the percentage of, you say, of individual workout, how important is that as opposed to what you've seen on tape from college players or whatever, see their body of work as opposed to you just working out individually?
I mean, it's just another piece of the puzzle. It's good sometimes to see how guys have grown, see what they've done with their bodies. And sometimes you get to see things that they weren't allowed to do in college or overseas, but it's just another piece of the puzzle. We won't just draft a guy for workout. That definitely won't happen.
Do you anticipate lots of conversations about trades, not just you, but around the league? Have you started to gather there's a buzz growing?
Yeah, I mean, the draft usually there's a lot of trade talk and a lot of things that happen. So yeah, we anticipate it and we're getting prepared for it. Yes,
You'd like to make trades on draft days?
I like
Getting
to.
the itch again?
I like to make trades anytime to improve the team. So it can be draft day. It can be. It doesn't matter if it improves the Pistons and helps us restore the program. Yeah,
Generally speaking, when people talk about some of the prospects, if a guy's older, they might not see as upside, or if a guy hasn't played much, he might be mystery and he has all the upside. What are your thoughts generally on like when people use the word upside for players coming into the league, whether age is involved or lack of kind of film or things like that?
yeah. I mean, to me, upside is growth mindset. I don't prescribe to the guys at 23-year-old that he can't grow and doesn't have upside. I don't. Or there's some guys that are 19, 18 that limit themselves. I've seen a couple players, young players, I said, it's going to be a while because he just doesn't get it. So it's just mental aspect of it, how a player approaches things and where he's been, how he's been coached, and what's been untapped. So it's a whole process of trying to uncover and untap guys being able to grow. But age to me has nothing to do with that.
Is the overriding mission when you're picking high like that, are you looking to make sure you get the guy who's the best available at the time, who will be the best player 3 years down the road? And if so, does the ability to contribute immediately is that a factor?
Yeah, we want to get the player, the best player we see has the most potential long term. But absolutely, in that, you would hope that they could contribute, but we want the best player for the long haul.
How much does what happens on draft night influence the rest of your summer, do you think, if at all?
I don't anticipate it influencing much at all, to be honest.
You and your judges, would you rather have free agency before the draft like they do in football, or is that the negative?
Yeah, absolutely. Football has it figured out.
Is there any momentum in that direction?
I'm not sure. Maybe a little. I just played innocent in front of me, so.
You find that there's a top 4 or top 5 in this draft and then a drop off or no?
You know,
I knew you'd like this question.
yeah, this is probably, I've been talking about this question for about 20 years. If that was the case, how does Giannis go 15? How does Kawhi go 15? Like, how does, well, I'll leave a couple names out, but like, I never prescribe to that. You know, the top this, the top, there may be a top 1, some drafts. Okay, Shaq, LeBron, okay. But for the most part, we're picking 5. I mean, no. In this draft, I don't see that. Pertaining to, I don't see a top 4. I never saw that. 3 years from you always see these things redraft. You know, if 5 years later, if you redraft it, it's always different, right? It's a draft. But no, I don't see a big drop off. That's why, we want to do our work and come up with the best person and player for us. But no, to your question, no, I don't see a top 3 or top 4 in the drop off. I like 7, 8, 9 guys in the draft, so it doesn't, not for me.
What part of this process do you enjoy most?
This part.
No, probably getting to know the prospects, getting to know them. Everyone has a story, and I like getting to know all the prospect stories because that usually that's very interesting, and it usually is a good barometer for who that playing person will be going if you just getting to know them. So that's probably the most exciting, interesting part of the process.
If I recall, last year with COVID, I don't know if you guys were able to do like group stuff. This year, COVID's a little more relaxed. Does that help the process at all, seeing guys work out amongst each other and having competition?
Somewhat, yeah. I mean, it's always good to see live competition. So, no, that helps, and being able to do more in the building, interact more, also helps as well. So, no, we've welcomed it, and it's been good for us.
Has your draft philosophy shifted at all since you took this job? This is your 3rd draft, and this would be, I believe, your 5th first-round pick. Have you been able to maybe change your preference at all and which looking for in the prospect that there's a core in place, or has it still stayed pretty similar to the first day you were here?
Yeah, even more so now. Like I said, we're going to stay the course and try to continue to live out our plan and our process. But being here now, you feel more. I say to come in the door, we want to put a team on the floor that the city identifies with. And now being here and having the fans in there this past year, even more, you want to do that even more so. Now that you getting more fans back in and the interaction. So no, I mean, definitely want to stay on track with that.
You said before you'd received lots of calls at various times on Jeremy Grant. Would you expect that to be the case again, leading up to the draft?
Yeah, I mean, people always call them for your best player, so yes, absolutely. We anticipate that.
Good.
Got to stay in. We're just going to go to Zoom real quick. Jamal, did you still have a question you wanted to ask?
Yeah, hey, Troy, Jamal Collier from ESPN. You mentioned talking about one of the best guy and having Cade, and that he's kind of easy to, valuable to whoever got on the floor. But I'm just kind of curious, after selecting a player like him, first overall, what kind of influence does had that had on your process this year going into the draft? Like, is it more than other high draft picks normally is, or has it factored in a whole lot into your decision making or thought process? Having Cade on the roster.
Well, I mean, the great thing about Cade, and we talked about him, is his versatility. So yeah, there's not a player that we're looking at that we don't see that could fit with Cade. So yeah, absolutely, his versatility lends to whoever we draft being able to fit seamlessly with him. So yeah, I mean, drafting him that's made it easier and not have to worry so much about fit. So that's pretty much how we view it.
Thanks, Troy.
Very good.
Thank you.